Well, much to my chagrin, thank you for those reaching out, wondering, dude, what happened to Fierce Floyd? Where you been, man? Why aren't you doing videos? It's kind of a long story, so hey, I've got a little bit of time, so I'm going to do a video instead of jumping in the shower and washing off. As you can see, I'm well tanned. Life's been a blur. So yeah, let's just start back at the beginning because there are people out there that are so full of BS that to this day, I still do not know why people actually follow them, listen to them, pay them money to get babble. It's insane. God bless each and every one of you out there that are partaking in that. So we're going to get down to reality like I want to do. Because I'm here to tell you the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God. Wow. Yeah. In Houston, I picked up that little sweet mama on my birthday, which is actually May 10th, but we picked it up on the 28th. I didn't get my certificate because for some reason they just whizzed right through all the birthday celebrants, and I literally walked in there, walking out. But I was doing my thing. I was busy, and I could have made it to do my little thing, but anyway, that's one of the little accomplishments that I do on a daily basis. So here I'm going to tell you the truth of what the hell's happening, Fierce Floyd, man. What have you been doing, dude? Why you been so quiet? I've been not posting anything, and making frenemies and whatever you want to call yourselves and identify as. Let's start back when the trauma started. So, some of you know, some of you don't know. My former roommate was the cousin of Lyle Lovett. Yes, absolutely. I'm telling you the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. How we got? Super Bowl Sunday night, I went to Bombshells with my buddy Juan C. Vasquez, the Houston independent film director, producer, and some buddies that are associated with a local radio station. We watched the Super Bowl. Came home, boom, my roommate shows up, have a conversation. He goes upstairs, turns on the bathtub whirlpool, and I'm downstairs in my office, and I can hear it running, and no big deal. I got tired, and about 10:30, 11, I went to bed like a normal person. Well, I got up pretty early the next morning, and man, the jacuzzi's still running. But for those of you who know, my roommate is I'm almost 100% deaf. He, you literally have to beat on his door to get him to answer it, shit like that. So he had a hard time hearing you unless he had his hearing aids in. So I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe he couldn't hear it and he drained the water, whatever. So, it starts getting around 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and, it's still running. I'm like, okay, well, I guess he's not going to work today. He's sleeping in. I don't know what's going on. So I'm just going to, have faith that nothing's wrong. So, about noonish, I go up there and, I was calling him and texting him. He's not answering his phone. It's going to voicemail. I'm like, man, what's going on? So I'm up there pounding on his door because it's locked and, no answer. And I'm like, this is not abnormal. I mean, this is kind of normal with him not being able to hear and, beating on the door. And yeah. So, that rolled on. I went and wrote a note please turn your jacuzzi off, and stuck it on the garage door in case he came downstairs and I'm focused on my laptop doing what I need to do. And he tries to burn off and it's still running, because now it's annoying because it's running when I'm at the bed, and it's been running all freaking day. So about 3 p.m. that afternoon, and remember, I had a work call at 5 o'clock at the Jar Jar Brown, a rigging call. I think rigging call. No, I had a work call. It started at 5 p.m. So about 3 o'clock, I kind of hear some commotion. My dog's kind of tripping, and I'm going to get to where I'm at, because this is not my house and this is not an AI backdrop. I'll get to all that. I'm getting there. So right now we're dealing with Super Bowl Sunday. So hang in there with me, please, because it's a compelling story to get from there to here, and a lot has happened. So about 3 p.m. I kind of hear, my dog's tripping. Like, what the fuck's going on? And I open my front door, and there's a ladder in my driveway going up to my roommate's bedroom window. And I'm like, the fuck? Is there a fire? What the fuck's going on? So I step outside, and I see, what, I've never met the guy before, but he was wearing my roommate's, work shirt for his roofing company. And he goes, "Have you seen Dave?" And I'm like, "No, actually I haven't." And, blah, 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 blah. I just told that same story that I just told you. And he goes, "Well, we can't get a hold of him." And I'm like, "Man, I've got a bad feeling already," because I had a bad feeling all day. I'm like, "Man, please, Dave, don't be upstairs dead. Please don't be upstairs dead." So we went upstairs and together, and again, I beat the hell out of David's door without actually breaking the door down. And I was like, "His door's locked, man. Let me go get a knife and we'll be right here, like cutting through butter." And I went downstairs, got a knife, came back, popped the lock, and his bed hadn't been slept in. As soon as I saw the bed, gotta remember, I've known this guy. I met him when I was 16 years old at an after-hours party doing lines. And I thought he was just the coolest motherfucker, because he was 10 years older than me. He had already been partying with Dusty, Billy, and Frank Beard, before they really became something. So yeah, I've known him a long time, and his daughter. Anyway, yeah, as soon as I saw the bed, man, I knew what was up. And we went in the master bathroom, and he was in the jacuzzi, and he had passed away. And I don't know, was it like late April? Last time I spoke to his daughter, they still had not determined a cause of death. So as you can imagine, I was kind of freaked out. Didn't really know, what to do. I found my father when he committed suicide, but this was a little different. And so he called 911 because I was just like freaked the fuck out. Now I got to deal with my work call. Now I got to deal with a dead body, law enforcement, emergency response, maybe a medical examiner. My life just turned upside down like that, which I had been dreading all day. That wouldn't happen, but did happen. So HPD showed up first, interviewed me and David's coworker. He got on his radio in the vehicle and went through everything. EMS firefighters showed up, and we hadn't been back upstairs since that. And we took them up there, and they, did what they did. I went back outside, talked to the responding officer, said, "Hey, I've got to be at the door around at 5 o'clock for a work call, and I haven't even had time to be able to even, call anybody, say, hey, I'm not showing up. Something happened." So he was like, yeah, I don't think I need anything. You know, I've got all your information. If I need anything, you know, call me. I said, look, I'll be at the George R. Brown, you know, your substation's in that building. So that's where I'll be. Call them for security. They'll come find me if you need me. Very accessible if you know where to look. And that's the thing. You got to know where to look. I called a buddy of mine and I said, hey man, can you come pick me up, please? And I really need somebody to kind of like babysit me for a minute. And he was one of my coworkers and we were working that gig together. So he picked me up and we went to work and I actually did the gig and then came home to a house that somebody had passed away in. A 3-story house, 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath. Yeah, enormous house, way too big for both of us. Been wanting to downsize for years now, but it is what it was. We had a sweet deal, sweet place. Yeah, it was great while it lasted, and that ended Super Bowl Sunday. So, like I said, my life turned upside down and I didn't want to stay in there because my office was like the jacuzzi's right above me. So it was just, you know, you can see I'm still traumatized by it. No doubt. No freaking doubt. So I had to make some quick decisions because I didn't want to stay there. And because I'm on parole, which most everybody hell knows, I can't just up and leave and up and move. I need permission, and you know. So I called my PO and hammered all that out with them, and they were okay. Yeah, we understand, Mr. Tarbin. You know, go find you a place to live. So I did. And I downsized quite a bit and still really didn't know what I wanted to do. I just, you know, found a place to really exist. I didn't want to do shows, didn't want to do interviews. I didn't want to work, but, you know, everybody's got to work and pay bills, especially if you want to improve your standard of living, and that's you know, I try that every day. So I was working some gigs, and you know, there's this thing, you know, y'all might have heard about it. I doubt it. It's called FIFA. You know, it's in every major city in the United States of America. So they were advertising for quite a few jobs. They had headhunters, they had staffing companies place ads, and Indeed and ZipRecruiter and all those others for these different positions. So I applied for one for Director of Activities for FIFA FanFest 2026 in East Downtown Houston, across from the George R. Brown. I missed it by that much. I won't explain why, just because I'm currently, and I'll get to that. So I was one of the last 3 candidates that they were looking for to, you know, run this whole footprint of when you go to a fan fest in one of your major cities, Boston, Miami, Atlanta, Dallas, Houston, Kansas City, Seattle, all over the country, all over the country. And you go to the fan fest area, not so much the stadium where they'll have activities going on there as well. That whole footprint, that's what I put in for, and I missed it again by that much, which, you know, was kind of bittersweet because I met my replacement or the person who actually won that position. Yeah, it's been an interesting time. So I interviewed for that, and I mean, I did 3 interviews for that position before I finally got to the people at Sport 5. Sport 5 was hired by FIFA to run the whole show, and then FIFA hired Rockforce to do the labor. So I'm not working labor. Okay, so yeah, I'll get to that where I'm at right now. Generally, most of you know I'm a professional stagehand and rigger. I've done everything and anything everywhere, and yeah, kind of a jack of all trades in that area. So anyway, I lost out on that gig. That was a $15,000 gig, and it ran. It had a part-time where I think they were doing like they'd be there for 4 days, a couple days off, they'd be back 3, blah 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 blah. And then I think they started flip-flopping days or something until the actual when the FIFA event starts. I think it's June 14th, 16th, something like that. I don't know, don't care. So I missed out on that, and that was a $15,000 gig. I was like looking forward to that. It was a day rate, but I missed it, and just by somebody calling me because they wanted some good stagehands to work with them, and they called me and said, "Hey man, I got a gig. You want to work?" And I was like, "Okay, cool." Hell yeah! So it was pretty good, $250 day rate. You're not working by the hour. You're just, whatever the gig is for that day. Straight pay, no taxes, Medicare, Social Security, none of that taken out. So good money, especially when it's a rain day. Came back watching it rain, like, are they going to call this thing yet? Yeah. Oh, cool. See y'all tomorrow. So you get $250 for watching it rain for, a couple hours. They call it a washout. So anyway, I went to work for them just as a general hand, and we were constructing the Aramco field in East Downtown Houston, and y'all can go look at that. I've got pictures. I just haven't uploaded anything. I've been taking pictures of everything I've been doing everywhere. I went to work, and the owner of the company that I'm not currently with now, we spoke on the phone. They hired me on the spot. Their lead, which is like, he came and he's running the whole show over there at Aramco Field. So me, which I was a hand, and because George wanted me the owner to go out to dinner, and we were with this other kid who was the actual lead of the whole thing. So we went. I took him to a nice restaurant here in Houston. James, the guy that we went with, that was representing George, the owner, had never had crawfish before, so I turned him on to crawfish. Turned him on. What else do we have that he had never had before? So really fun time. So 2 days into the gig, I'm a hand, and I'm scheduled to do other things like my usual offshore technology conference gig, where I'm a rigger and I'm requested by Freeman to rig that. So I'd already committed to that like a month before, so I had to do that. So there were days that I skipped that I wasn't out there doing the field, but that was a 14-day gig that extended on. But after day 2, they called me and said, "Hey, we're going to get rid of the lead. So do you want to take over and be the lead?" And I'm like, I guess I got to make the calls too. Yeah. I'm like, well, not really, but if you want me to, I'll do it just to finish the gig. Wasn't something I was aspiring for, to do, to handle. Nothing. I just want to go get my $250 a day and get the hell out of there. On the 4th day, they terminated him, bumped me up to lead, but I was, getting ready to go to OTC because we had armbands and we started May 1st. So every day we got one May. That said, I don't know remember what day of the week it was that we started. But every day had the day and date on it, and it was a different color. And yeah, I'll get to more of that. So we're doing the field, and I'm running the crew, replacing people, making calls, hiring people, passing out checks, doing payroll. Now it's 2 jobs actually, but that evolved, and I can take you through the whole story of what happened in Houston, but let's just say I'm out on the road in a FIFA city, maybe somewhere near you, maybe not. I even brought my dog, so I got a road dog. And I have 2 of the country's top riggers with me as my assistants. And we're out at the FIFA events, running entire crews. We're the guys that run the booth, that meet with the representatives that are the clients. So if you're doing a Michelob Ultra booth, we know the Michelob people, the marketing people, the advertising people, the production company, and then of course our production company. Same thing with Bank of America, which is kind of a crazy story because we had the National Rifle Association convention, I believe it was late April here at the Georgia. Well, not here, I'm not there. I'm just so used to being in Houston all the time, so forgive me. In Houston at the George R. Brown, and the lead rigger for that gig was not me, but he met, I guess, a Bank of America representative who said, "Hey, do you think you could come build our booth for FIFA?" And he said, "Yeah, sure. What's it paying?" And they gave him a number, and he was like, "Okay, I'll do that." So about 10 days later, he flew out to Charlotte, North Carolina, to Bank of America's headquarters to learn how to build a Bank of America booth. And I know him very, very well. I've worked with him a lot. To know that as soon as he got there and they showed him this build, he went, "Y'all flew me all the way out here to teach me how to build this? Really? I can build this in my sleep." And then he burned off and went to Gillette Stadium in Boston to do his summer gig. So he bailed on that because it's a multi-city deal. It's in every city. They're one of the top sponsors, Aramco, Bank of America, Michelob Ultra. What was the other company? There's a bunch of them. I'm just fried because I've been basically working every day outdoors in the sun. As you can see, I have no sun protection. I eat the sun. They just look at me and they say, "Man, that dude's nuts." Nuts. And it's fun. So it's stuff I can do in my sleep. But anyway, we're doing a show, or we're doing a booth here where I'm at now in this FIFA city. That's all y'all need to know. And I'm very, 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 very happy with the company that I work for, the owners, the people I work with, the ability to pick some of the best of the best, the cream of the crop, and take them on the road with me. Oh, yeah. And blow the socks off people when they're like, "Oh, well, we've never done it like that." Well, okay. Sit back and relax. I got this. Yeah. So when we first got there to this gig I'm at now, we had a little inclement weather, and day one was a wash pretty much. So now they're a day behind, which that's kind of been the theme of all these FIFA gigs for various reasons, inclement weather being one among many. A lot of it was short notice and material ordering that, inventory of most of the major suppliers had been accounted for. And if you were late to the dance, guess what? You got the leftovers or the sloppy seconds. You need a 10-foot pita truss. Well, guess what? You're getting 2 5s because that's all we got. Good luck finding 10s. So stuff like that. And it's been quite the adventure. Every day is a new multi-challenge day. So it's been a blast. I've had fun. I wish I'd show you pictures of everything that I've done and been doing. But if you definitely get in near Houston, or you can, that thing, they profiled it on some local news stations in Houston and have it up on YouTube. The Aramco soccer field, because they literally took a city block and built a soccer field from the ground up with turf. Yeah. Has a big LED screen with a simulated goal where you kick a ball into it, and it I don't know. They didn't have it actually running while I was there, and that was a couple weeks ago. So I've been going since May. I was still working then. 30-something days straight. Some 12-hour days, some days out in the hot sun. But if you hung around me and you knew me and you worked with me, or you went to the gym and worked out with me, you would totally understand why I do what I do and how I do what I do. Because I run circles around 20-year-olds who work around me. I run circles around everybody. I don't. But in 6 days, I'll be 64. Can you imagine that? Isn't that fucking insane? I can't believe that. I'm just like, dude, what happened? Who let you live this long? Why? Yeah, it's been a mind-blowing experience, but I'm very happy, very grateful. I'm not missing. I've just been focused on one thing. I was stacking cash, and then stacking cash turned into a real job with a real company doing real things in real places. And they are taking care of me pretty much whatever I want. If I wanted to fly, they're like, can you go home and pack and be in Miami and go to work in the morning? I'm like, give me 20 minutes to think about that. No, I can't go on that short notice. Damn. We'll have to go to Miami for free. So, yep, that didn't happen. But, yep, here I am in another city doing my little FIFA gigs. So I've had quite a few put under my belt. This is actually my own personal booth that I'm like the guy. Doesn't matter who shows up, they come talk to me. So that feels really good to finally have that respect, that dignity. I fucking earned it. You can bet your ass on that. As I said, I didn't even want any of this, and it just, God blesses you, because when I found my roommate dead, I was like, man, what am I going to do? I want to live here, don't want to live here, you know, because I could walk to my gym, I could walk to my bank, I could walk to Walmart. Actually, I could like stand on my tiptoes in my living room, look over to our security fence, and I could see the top of Walmart, Target, restaurants, Papados, Papacitos. I mean, everything was around there, just in walking distance. Not the greatest neighborhood, but I lived in this like little gym in what I call the ghetto barrio. Mostly low-income melanated people and illegal immigrants for the most part. But that's where I grew up, and you know, kind of liked it over there. But anyway, I had to do what I had to do to look out for my own mental health because, as you most know, I do have PTSD. I am on teacup. I have a medical marijuana whole thing. Yeah. No, yep. I'm bona fide. So for everything else, that's pretty much it. I've, you know, watched some videos. I mean, I really haven't even been watching YouTube and paying attention to really what's going on because it's just a big farce. You know, even YouTube and all these influencers are just blah 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 blah. You know, if you just turn them off for 6 weeks, turn them back on, it's blah 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 blah. It's the same shit. Doesn't change. You know, so I just kind of tuned that whole thing out and started doing other things because listen, folks, if you don't see the writing on the wall, you know, a lot of people are already in an uproar about the data centers. You know, hey, they're too close to our house, they're making us sick, they're too much noise, our water table's depleted, you know, like 600 million gallons in the last 6 days. You know, it's just ridiculous stuff. But not ridiculous to the inhabitants around the data centers. But the data centers are coming, whether you like it or not, because I keep telling you folks, when all the Q-tars are saying trust the plan, go back to July 2025, where the AI plan for America, and they fully spell it out for you. And in fact, they doubled down and created a special unit in the Department of Justice to litigate against every other being or any other comer that wants to challenge the United States government becoming the alpha AI of the world. So where are we at with that? Well, you know, you got all these little, now it's Ebola. Before that, it was what, the hantavirus, and I mean, the list goes on and on. And you kind of wonder, if you don't watch my show, how do they know these things? How do they know there's an outbreak in Cleveland, Ohio? Well, that would be the Centers for Disease Control, along with your local water municipality or sewage municipality, okay, with the the National Wastewater Surveillance System. Oh yeah, they're capturing your DNA with the wastewater, and they're testing it for, I don't know. Make up your mind what they're testing it for. I don't know. More flock cameras in your neighborhood are coming soon. As you see, more and more data collection. It's like everything you will do, they want your email, they want your phone number, they want to connect the dots and sell your data. Yeah, folks, I'm telling you, there's going to come a time that if you're not off the digital devices, and that means your phone, your tablet, your watch, your laptop, your PC, your apps, traditional banking, you're going to be caught in the matrix. That's why I'm stacking fat cash as quickly and much as I can. That's my main focus. I don't give a about nothing else. Whatever comes my way on that journey, well, great. That's a blessing. So that's pretty much what I've been up to. Uh, haven't gone anywhere. Still selling trust books with LeFlore. Actually, she just did a consultation and got it all taken care of without me having to lift a finger, which was that was a blessing too, because you know, I have time's limited and time is precious, and I don't want to waste time where I don't have to. So I was due back to wherever I'm going, but you know, they asked to stay another day. Like, please don't leave. We don't know what to do without you. So y'all stay tomorrow. Can y'all stay tomorrow? Mm-hmm. 20 minutes later, okay, y'all good to go. And that feels great, folks, internally. So let's go back. Super Bowl Sunday. As quickly as humanely possible, I moved out of the house as fast as I could. However, anybody who's been to my house, and there's a bunch of you out there, y'all know my roommate was a fucking pack rat. I mean, there was like a trail in his bedroom. I mean, he had the big master bedroom, but that was pretty much it. Trails, because he had so much stuff, like ball caps. He probably had 300 hats. And I personally know at one time he had 32 pairs of cowboy boots. 32. Two sets were actually identical boots. I mean, same size, same color, same exotic skin. I think one was a burgundy ostrich, and the other was black. So he had two pairs of each. Same brand, same. I was like, bro, you're just like insane with it. So, as I said, I downsized. So for me, it's a pretty quick deal. But for his only his relatives that really gave a crap about him was his daughter, which fell on her because she's the heir, and his sisters. And it was traumatizing for them because then now they have to go through all the daddy stuff, all of it, to determine what they want to keep, what's valuable, what's just plain old trash that nobody wants to deal with. Which I told him repeatedly, bro, don't do this to your daughter, man. Start selling this shit off while you're alive and get, even if it's chump change, man, go spend that, because now you're going to put a burden on your daughter if you do pass away. And he's like a 2-time cancer survivor. So it wasn't like I was talking out of line or anything like that with him. Remember, I'm telling you the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. So again, like I said, I bailed, but his daughter had, she had already planned to go on vacation for a week. And she was like, oh my God, my dad died. I'm going on vacation in like 2 or 3 days or something for a week. And I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, well, I'm going to be out of there before then. Like, I'll be days out of there by then. She's like, well, what do we do? I was like, well, just, they've got 90 days to get you out of that house. So you're good for 90 days. So the landlord, of course, tried to sue us to evict us. And but guess what? Fearless Floyd was long gone in the wind. But the estate of my roommate, he was still present. So I had to arrange for an estate sale. Got that set up on last notice, only because I know the owners of an estate sale company. So I got them to come in and do just, bang up, pretty much rush ass job. Everybody there on the spot. They actually came to the house, toured everything, went, okay, yeah, we can do this. I'm like, cool. Thank you. Bye. Here's his daughter's number. That's up, and I'm gone. So next time I show up at the house, it's just change the locks, put the original locks back on, and that's it. Bye. So, did I get evicted? Nope. Left on my own volition. Why? I didn't want to live alone in a fucking big ass house with the ghost of my former roommate. And I just decided, whatever you do, just get the hell out of here and let God lead the way, because he manages to always take care of you. I really didn't work that much in February and March, and I was just like, man, fuck, dude. Summer coming up, it's our off season, so man, things aren't looking too well for me, and I'm just all screwed up about my roommate passing away, and God took care of me, and he blessed me, and I'm just very fortunate that I was able to just obtain this opportunity, and that's how I look at it. So every day is just a cherished moment for me because I get to do what I've done since I was in high school. Get to work with some amazing people. Some brilliant minds. And believe me, I'm not the smartest cat in the room. That's the first thing I tell everybody. Hey, I'm not the smartest guy in the room. So if y'all have a better suggestion on how to do this, throw it at me. We'll see what sticks. And literally, we've been getting plans that, aren't even the booth that we're building, but it look the same. But the measurements are off. The way it's built is different. And, basically today, or this week, we pretty much built that booth by my memory of building the same booth in another FIFA city. And I wasn't the lead on that. I had a lead from my company who was kind of showing me the ropes. So this is what we come in and this is what we do. This is how we roll. But for me, it evolved into where, now I got my own crew, which happened pretty quick, because once you've do this and you've worked with all different types of our industry's materials, whether, it's pipe and drape, it's LED walls, it's types of staging, types of truss, motors, rigging. It just goes, heavy equipment, forklift, scissor lift, boom lift, low, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. This is, the guys in the next room, they've toured with Taylor Swift, Kiss, Kenny Chesney, all over. Those guys used to fly, just follow the tour wherever the tour is going. That's they're on that leg until they want to pull off the tour. So they've done big, amazing things, and I'm just like, thrilled to be able to have those people underneath me and take care of them. Because taking care of them, make sure that they had a rent car to bring up here, place to stay, food, all of that. So that's what Fearless Floyd has been doing. And I've been just busy doing, a lot of paperwork. And me, I'm highly organized. I've got sign-in sheets and safety sheets. And if y'all want me to take that responsibility, I'm going to do it right. I'm not going to half-step this shit. You can bet your ass on that. So, there you go. And the show must go on. So I'll be back doing more of these, but there's more FIFA stuff. This thing's running until, all summer through probably the middle of August. I'll be doing FIFA stuff everywhere, wherever they tell me to go. And I will, take care of my administrative responsibilities for all of those you out there going, oh, he's going to leave the state without permission. He's going to violate his parole. Y'all are a bunch of fucking losers. Remember that? Ooh, you're a fucking loser. Astonishing. That's all I can tell you. You know, part of the reason why I haven't done shows is, you know, what do I have left to say? I've exposed all these scammers and liars and cheaters and grifters, and people don't want to watch the videos. They don't want to pay attention, and they still like, hey, Shirley, guess what? I got this guy, and he can blah, 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 blah. You should hear him. He's going to be on a Zoom and or whatever, and, you know. Now you got your friends all fucked up, too. So, you know, believe me, it's what, June 3rd. I will be back in December. I promise you, okay, with my annual review of all these losers. That's what they are. They're fucking losers. Because they've strung you along for days, weeks, months. Some of you, God bless you, years, and want to continue the charade for years. They're telling you, one of them's telling you, oh, well, you know, we're dealing with the IRS, so, you know, it might be 2 or 3 years before we get an answer. What? So I'm just going to like sit here and twiddle my thumbs after I gave you tens of thousands of dollars and wait 2 or 3 years for something to happen? That's a probability, because no one has 100% proof it works. But, you know, I'm talking to my audience. Hopefully most of you know most of this stuff, but, you know, it's those ones out there who, you know, hear bad things about Fearless Floyd, you know, because I know all of them talk about me and I don't give a fuck. You think it's going to change my life? What, you know, I'm being called a douchebag in some fucking Telegram group or something like bullshit like that. And oh man, my skin's much tougher than that. All I do, hit me up. You know, I can keep telling y'all, we can go to the gym, you know, we can go lift weights, we can do it that way, or, you know, we can go down there in the hardwoods and put on our gloves and our mouthpiece and, you know, get on YouTube Live, and whoever's left walking, you know what time that is. And we called it Catch the Square. So for those of you who know what that means, you know what I'm talking about. But for the most part, yeah, that's what I'm doing, man. I'm out here chilling on the road, you know, staying in these Airbnbs and hotels, motels, whatever's provided, wherever I go, and just slamming money in the bank. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that, right? Yeah, and it's fun, and I enjoy it. So that's where I've been. That's what I've been doing. That's how I got from there to here. That's why I haven't been on social media doing much of anything. I've just been really disinterested, dissatisfied, disillusioned, and disheartened by all of you out there who continue to ride that roller coaster day after day after day after day, you know, living on opium that, you know, I'm going to get rich overnight, or I'm going to be able to get rid of my mortgage or my car payment, or I'm going to be able to someday walk into a new car dealership and walk out with a brand new spanking car of my desire for free. You know, I've been at this a long time, and I haven't seen, you know, I've seen some one-offs, you know, a hit here, a hit there, but nothing consistent. So most of these people, you know, they're kind of chasing their tail. And, you know, I don't care what statutes and codes and treaties and articles and acts and all that other stuff means, because, you know, they ignore what they want to ignore. They accept what they want to accept. You know, and then there's a whole other side of that coin where, you know, oh, we're going to set up a de jure government and take over the de facto government. You know, these knuckleheads, while they're over here playing this pseudo governmental takeover, they're actually being taken over by immigrants in their own community, whether it's, you know, Muslims or Jews or Somalis or Indians or Asians, or, and listen, I'm not being racial prejudice or anything like that. I'm just, it is what it is. And this is what's happening across our country, where these people with different cultures, beliefs, ethics, standards, and morals. Okay. I'm not saying they're all completely different. I'm sure there are some similarities in there somewhere in the mix. But they're coming in and they're taking over your school board, which teaches your children. They're coming in and taking over your mayorship. They're getting into your police force. And, before you know it, they're in like, 1/4 of your whole town. You've been invested with these people who, are trying to blend in, but they're completely different from the American way of life. They don't want to adapt to the American way of life, but only in so much, but they still want to maintain their own culture that they brought with him. And listen, the rest of the world, I'm going to quote Donald Trump, most of them are shitholes. Most of these people live in, wood structures, clay structures, mud structures. Yeah. They can't afford a nice house with sheetrock and mini blinds and desks and office chairs and TVs in every room. So yeah, it's quite different. But that's what's happening with that whole group, and I've been, trying to tell them that, they don't want to listen. They think they're over there really, really going to take back over everything. And I've been trying to tell you folks, okay, AI's coming. It's going to take over everything. It's going to take over your life. It will not be stopped. And once AI and the banksters merge with central bank digital currency, you're toast. You're going to be caught in the matrix unless you have barter material outside the system. But you don't have to listen to me. One of these days you look back in hindsight, and I know some of these videos that I've done, they're, years from now, people are like, man, that dude, he's way ahead of the game on that. Most of this stuff. Why weren't people listening to him? I don't know. But Trump, he wants his name on everything. This is all about securing his legacy, his name, so it's immortalized throughout history, like John F. Kennedy and LBJ and Socrates. God forbid, Jesus Christ. Now he wants to come out. He wants to come out with a $250 bill with his image on it. Is that how that works? It's like naming buildings. Usually that comes from Congress or your legislature, or your city council, or your commissioner's court, or not Donald Trump's mouth. Heaven forbid. I know all you MAGAs out there are just going to hate Fearless Floyd. I've lost a lot of friends because of my views because, I hold everybody accountable. It's like, somebody was talking about Ken Paxton and Greg Abbott. They're like, man, they're like really liberal for Republicans. And I'm like, well, why didn't you follow that up with before Greg Abbott was a Republican, he was a what? A what? Oh, he was a Democrat. And then when it came convenient to change over to the other party, convenience outweirs integrity, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, it's just a big charade, all of it, Apparently, I ran across a YouTube headline that Iran has attacked a U.S. warship. I haven't followed up on that. So, the ceasefire, all that negotiations, just, a bunch of fucking hogwash. And, I never understand why gas goes up when, apparently we've got, Venezuela by the cojones. Canada's north of us, You know, it's not like we have a hard time finding oil around this place. But yet, why? You know, and of course, I was going to bring this up in a future video, but, you know, I talked about, you know, eliminating the federal excise tax on gas and diesel. Remember? Months ago. And then Trump popped it up like, oh, hey, that's a great idea. And I'm almost 100% sure it wasn't because I said it in the video. But, yeah, you know, it is what it is. I just have some stupid ass ability to be able to kind of see things before they happen. Don't ask me how or why I can do that. It's just a thing. But anyway, that's what I've been up to. I got a comment over here. I'll go check it out. Hello, Warren Sheffield. Welcome to the show. They want to confirm that you're even, though they freaking know everything about us. Oh yeah, I tell everybody this. There's multiple digital twins operating in real time of you. So whatever you're doing right this minute is happening elsewhere in this digital reality for whatever conglomeration owns that AI and data collection. So Amazon, Meta, which is Facebook, Google, Alphabet, all these big major players, Walmart, they have an artificial reality with your digital twin operating in real time with predictive behavior and patterns to predict what you're going to do before you do it based on past behaviors and characteristics. And that's monitoring everything that you do on your phone, device, laptop, refrigerator, if it's a smart refrigerator, everything tied into your router through your Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. It's all connected. It's all collected. It's all bought, sold, and traded every single day of your life. As long as you have one of these devices, one of these, you're trapped in the matrix. Because what happens when you lose this? Don't you freak out? I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to do my banking? I don't have my app. How am I going to check my email? Oh, I can't get texts. Can't play on TikTok. That kind of crap. One day you're going to have to learn how to live without this stuff. Otherwise, you're never going to get away from this stuff. You're going to constantly be bombarded. Who knows what they're putting in the chemtrails that, you're eating, breathing, drinking, consuming, absorbing in your skin every day. In these cities, I see chemtrail after chemtrail after chemtrail. They're putting everything, all the food, the beverages, they're all in it together. Don't think that they're not. That's why they have these groups that meet all over the world, call themselves secret societies, but they're not so secret because they're doing it. But they're all doing the same thing. And I don't know why they want to suppress humanity, but it is what it is, and you need to wake up and realize that this is what it is. For some reason, there's some type of satanic entity, and this is hell on earth. Don't think it's not. There's just, people living a better iteration of what hell is than others. So get prepared because, it's going to be a hard Christmas this year, folks. Because, nothing against FIFA. I hope it's a great success, but from all the forecasts, from hotel occupancies, Airbnb, all the statistics, it's almost a non-starter. They were expecting, like your city has a Super Bowl, hosting a Super Bowl, that kind of expectations. You just can't find a hotel. You can pretty much get whatever you want in some of these cities. So pretty remarkable. how ineffective it has been for all the marketing that they are doing, all the joint advertising with other corporations. Like I was in Walmart and they had a little magazine at the counter, or you FIFA stickers, and I said, I just like, I wonder, I wonder, imagine that. And I asked her, I said, are those free? And she said, yeah, but we don't have any more stickers. I was like, okay, not on one. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, but hey, I'm good. I'm banking. I'm happy. I ain't tripping. Like I said, it's been fun. Now it's time for me to go. You can hear my voice. I've been rolling since 5 this morning. We do calls at 6 a.m. Tell you, I gotta see me, man. I'm dark. I'm the darkest person in the room. At least the reddest. So thanks for coming over here and spending your time, money, and energy with me. I appreciate it. And I just want to get you updated on, what the hell happened to Fearless Floyd. But that's what happened. Sad as it is. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. So thank you, everybody. Like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, leave a comment below. If you want to talk to me, okay, fearlessfloydshow@yahoo.com. Go to the website if you need a trust book, trust class, consultation with myself or Ann. All that great mumbo jumbo, 200-year plan with Noel, Benoist, and the late Ted Gunderson. That's available as well. And yeah, it's been fun. I'll try to come back on and do something else. People do solicit me to come on the show. I just, just really not interested. Tired of beating dead horse material just over and over and over because, nobody wants to listen. Nobody wants to pay attention. Nobody wants to share these videos with the people being hoodwinked and bamboozled on a daily basis by who. So thank you, everybody. I'll see you in the next FIFA City doing FIFA 2026. Good night.